Hey guys, welcome to Historical Conspiracies. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm doing pretty much a silent collaboration with a girl named Brooke from Twitter. She did this incredible thread about a person called Alissa Turney. I have been involved with the Alissa Turney case since I heard about it and have been pretty much obsessed. I will be reading directly from this thread. If you would like to follow along, please click on the link below in the description. It's all written by Brooke. It's very well said. It's definitely worth a read, especially the comments and other content that you could find within this thread about Alissa Turney. If you have not signed the petition yet to bring justice to Alissa, please do so. That's also in the comments below, as well as some other information like podcasts and other content like that I have found throughout the internet that all collectively I've put in the description. Is there something in the description that I missed? If you know of a podcast, any kind of blog that I have missed, please let me know in the comments below and I will add it. I will re-edit the description and add it into the description so we have everything in there for those who want to take a look and support this case. It's very important. With all that said, obviously, this is a brand new channel, so every little thing that you do counts, including clicking that like button and clicking on subscribe. It will support me and my partner on this channel, Edgar, who does a lot of the creepier content and stories. If you guys would like to support us, please do show your support by clicking the subscribe button so we can continue on bringing content like this. Alright, I'm going to get right into the thread written by Brooke. Hashtag JusticeForAlissa and why you should get involved. A thread. This is Alissa Turney from Phoenix, Arizona. She went missing when she was 17 years old and has not been seen since May 17, 2001. She's a Caucasian female with brown eyes, natural brown hair, and she died blonde. She's 5'4" and weighs 145 pounds. She would be 34 in 2018. Obviously, it's 2019 now, just adding this a little bit in. She would be 35 now. That was not in the thread. Alissa Marie was born on April 3rd, 1984 to Barbara Lee Farmer and Stephen Strom. The little boy pictured is her older brother John. When Alissa was 3, her mother Barbara married a man named Michael Roy Turney. Shortly after getting married, Barbara and Michael gave birth to a daughter named Sarah Turney. Here's some more photos of Alissa Turney as a child. Her younger sister, Sarah Turney, is Alissa's advocate in her case, as well as the person you should contact for info on Alissa. You can contact Sarah on Twitter at Sarah E. Turney, on Instagram as JusticeForAlissa Turney, and on Facebook as Help Find Alissa Turney. When Alissa was 9 years old, her mother died of lung cancer, leaving Alissa and Sarah to be raised by Mike Turney. There are reports from Alissa's friends, Alissa's boyfriend at the time of her disappearance, and one of Alissa's teachers that Alissa told them she had been sexually abused by Mike as a child. The claims that Mike had been sexually abusing Alissa were further confirmed in a home movie Sarah found from 1997. In this chilling clip, a 13-year-old Alissa shouts out, "Sarah, Dad's a pervert. Watch for yourself here." Side note, I did put the link of this 2001 clip in the description down below if you guys want to take a look at it, or you could just check out the thread. Okay, back to the thread now. Now, Brooke continues the thread with, although this is not confirmed, the timeline would go that Mike began sexually abusing Alissa between age 9, when Barbara died, and age 13, when the pervert video was filmed. These are the ages in which most of female puberty takes place. Mike never got remarried after losing his wife. Sarah states he's still obsessed with Barbara, and she believes that obsession carried over to Alissa after she passed. Alissa resembled her mother a lot. It would make sense that Mike began abusing Alissa after his wife died. Sarah recalls that Mike was always monitoring what Sarah was doing, that he considered her to be a rebellious, wild child. He himself admitted to having surveillance cameras planted all throughout the house, including in hidden locations such as air vents. In the master bedroom of the house, Mike had monitors set up to view the footage from each security camera. After Alissa went missing, he gave Sarah control of the system, which is one of the first major differences in how the two girls were treated. He had a system that monitored all of Alissa's phone calls. He would frequently go through her belongings. He would go watch her while she worked at her job at the fast food restaurant called Jack in the Box to make sure she was where she said she was. Mike and Alissa often fought. Mike's surveillance footage included videos of Alissa and her boyfriend John making out on the couch of their home. Sarah recalls that Mike would often stir up trouble and pick fights with John. A sense of jealousy was present between Mike and John, his teenage daughter's boyfriend. Alissa and Sarah's cousin, David, stayed with the Turney family for an extended amount of time when Alissa was a teenager. David considered Mike to be a hero to him. While staying there, David found a tape of the two girls wearing only shorts with their faces covered in the living room. One of these girls were presumed to be Alissa, and the other was presumed to be one of her friends. Mike was sitting in the room with them in the video. They appeared to be unconscious. Although this video hasn't been recovered, it associates Mike with child pornography. In the spring of 2001, Alissa had allegedly begun smoking marijuana. In an attempt to help his daughter, Mike tried to make arrangements for Alissa to spend the summer with her aunt Lynette, who lived in California. However, Mike expected Lynette to decline. She accepted. When Lynette said that Alissa could stay with her, Mike canceled. It is assumed that he was scared that Alissa would tell Lynette about the abuse she was enduring. The California trip appeared to be part of Mike framing himself to look like he cared about Alissa. By this point, Alissa had told multiple people that Mike had abused her. His fear of people finding out was most likely a huge reason for monitoring Alissa's behavior so closely. Alissa claimed that when she was younger, Mike had picked her up from school early one day, taken her to a secluded location, and sexually abused her. At the time of Alissa's disappearance, she had been talking about running away in phone calls to friends. On May 17, 2001, Mike claims he picked Alissa up early from school and took her out to eat. Over this meal, he and Alissa began arguing over Alissa's curfew. He took her home afterwards and she stormed off to her room. After dropping Alissa off, Mike left the house to pick up Sarah from school. Sarah recalls getting in the car and Mike being in a panic about Alissa. He ignored the fact that Sarah smelled like cigarette smoke, even though smoking was strictly prohibited by Mike. He continued acting like he was very concerned about Alissa. He called her cell phone and got Sarah to do the same. Upon returning home, Mike sent Sarah to Alissa's room to look for her. Here, Sarah did not find Alissa, but instead found the contents of her backpack dumped on the floor, her cell phone buzzing on the dresser, and a note. The note read, "Dad and Sarah, when you dropped me off at school today, I decided that I really am going to California. Sarah, you said you didn't want me around. Look, you got it. I'm gone. That's why I saved my money. Dad, I took $300 from you." It was determined that this note was in Alissa's handwriting. However, the content of the note didn't line up with what Mike claimed really happened. If she had planned to run away that day, why did she go out to eat with her dad and argue about curfew? She didn't even mention the argument she had with her dad, but instead blamed it on a small sibling argument she had had with Sarah. And the most concerning part, she said, was saving her money. No money was withdrawn from her bank account after this day. It is highly likely that Alissa had written this note in anger after arguing with Sarah before the day actually went missing. She had mentioned running away, so she might have come up with the plan and backed out. Considering Mike watched Alissa so carefully and went through her belongings, he could have found this note and staged her room to make it look like she'd left that afternoon. After she didn't return home that night, Mike reported her as a missing person. Since she had left a note, she was marked as a runaway and no formal investigation of her case was conducted. Alissa never showed up at Lynette's house. Mike claimed that about a week after Alissa's disappearance, she called the house, cursed him out, then hung up. However, this call was unable to be traced and no one heard it except for Mike. Even though Mike had the house under constant surveillance and recorded every phone call made to the house, there is no evidence from the sources that Alissa ever came home that day or made that call. Alissa stayed in the system as a missing person and went through being searched for until 2008, when a Florida inmate confessed to killing her. This was quickly proven false, but it was not until then that a crime investigation was opened for Alissa's case. According to Sarah, the police have thought since 2008 that Michael Turney killed Alissa, but they had no physical evidence to prove it. When Sarah was a teenager, the strict rules that Alissa had to follow were non-existent. Around this time, Mike Turney was arrested and sentenced to 10 years in prison for possession of weapons and bombs. He had planned to attack the union that he had worked for in the 80s, who he claimed killed Alissa for revenge. When he was in prison, Sarah uncovered a 90-page document that detailed a violent plan including Alissa. There were geographic coordinates in this plan. Years prior, human remains were found in that exact location, but they were unable to be identified. It was not until 2020 did an episode for Alissa in 2009 that Sarah knew her dad had picked Alissa up from school early that day, or that she had been sexually abused. When Mike got out of prison in 2017, Sarah spoke with him. He told her he would tell her what happened to Alissa on his deathbed and claimed that she already had the answers. Hear him say it on this clip.
Be there at the deathbed, Sarah, and I'll give you all the honest answers you want to hear.
Well, why don't you give them to me now?
Because you got them now.
Then why are you making me this offer to go to your deathbed?
I don't know, Sarah. What are you looking for?
When they took this information to the police, they told her they didn't have enough evidence to prosecute Mike, and if she could get media attention for the case, it would put more pressure on the DA to make the case go to trial. Because of this, Sarah started #JusticeForAlissa, and it's still seeking media attention for her sister's case. What you can do to help to get justice for Alissa. Number 1, learn about the case. At this point is where Brooke lists a bunch of people that have done episodes and podcasts on Alissa. I'm going to link them on the description down below. There's people like Kendall Ray and Eleanor Neal. And also there's the 2020 episode that's all in the description down below. And now I'm going to continue on with Brooke's thread. Number 2, spread the word. Share Alissa's story using #JusticeForAlissa. Share the videos on her disappearance. Go to JusticeForAlissa Turney on Instagram and help find Alissa Turney on Facebook. Make your own posts about Alissa. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat, Twitter, Pinterest, anything helps. Use #JusticeForAlissa. Number 3, sign the petition. Here's where Brooke puts in the link for the petition. It is very important that you guys sign it if this case has touched you in any way. Please sign it. It's in the link on the description down below. I have been directly trying to get these numbers up so we could get attention to more on this case on my Twitter. So I would love for every single person that just listens to this video and it has affected you in some way, just please go ahead and sign it. It takes less than 10 seconds, I counted. Now we're going to get back to Brooke's thread. Number 4, contact Bill Montgomery, the man who determines which cases go to trial. Write him at Bill Montgomery, 301 West Jefferson Street, Phoenix, Arizona, 85003. Call him at 602-506-3411. There's also a contact form which I will again put in the description down below. Completing these steps will help get #JusticeForAlissa. If you have any information on Alissa, contact 911. Phoenix, Arizona Police Department is 602-262-7626. Alright guys, that was it for the thread. Brooke goes on ahead and lists a bunch of resources that you can get more information on who to contact, who to reach out. All that is going to be down below. Please subscribe to the channel and give me a like. Then I know you guys keep wanting me to create content like this. I really appreciate it. I thank you for your time, and if you took anything out of this, please sign. My name is Cardia, and this has been Historical Conspiracies.